Hi guys, I love you guys so much and I'm so excited to talk about what the actual dimensions are as far as the numbers, the correlation to what they jibe with, what you're working in each one, and what they actually mean as far as dimensions or realities or heavens. You can call them all these things interchangeably, planes of existence, because I feel like there's some confusion and I want to clear it up right here and right now, excitedly so, because I've studied it a lot and I love it. So I hope that this helps, okay? We are in the physical. Sometimes people, myself included, make the mistake of calling it the 3D. When I say 3D, I literally just mean three-dimensional reality, like 3D. But actually, it's the first level. The physical is the first plane of existence, okay? The lowest. Then there is the astral, and that is the second level, the astral. And the astral is a more vibrant place, and that's where you would see things like ghosts or flying saucers. So you might be viewing that with your astral eyes, okay? Because you're really inhabiting every plane of existence at the same time, simultaneously, like quantum physics. Okay, so we're going to go to the third plane of existence, which is considered the causal plane, okay? That's where the Akashas, the Akashic records, are on the third plane of existence. So let's review for a moment before we continue. We've got the first plane, it's the physical. The second one is the astral, which is, again, right above the physical. And a lot of people end up there thinking that that's the last heaven and they just kind of stay there, think they've been greeted and that's the end of that. But actually, there's more. There's the causal is next, the third plane. Okay, that's where the Akash is. And you can actually get there more easily by chanting the word Mane. Mane. Do it 3 times and ask to see any past life records that would benefit you in this present moment. Okay. The fourth level is the mental, and it is combined with the etheric, which is all the subconscious stuff. The fourth plane, the mental plane, is definitely more like where Buddhist philosophy and such would be, for instance. That's one small instance, okay? Someone like Stephen King would go to the lower astral to get information to write his books. But the fourth would be more like philosophy and such. And then there's the etheric at the top of the fourth plane of existence. These are the lower worlds. So physical, astral, causal, mental, etheric. And then you get to, boom, this split, okay? And the split is now the 5th dimension and above. So when people say 5D, it's the 5th dimension and above. And that's the love plane, okay? So in the 5th and above, there is not this dichotomy, okay, where we learn things because of the dichotomy that we live in here. So the 5th and above is just straight up love planes. I did not expect to be doing this video today, but 2 of my favorite YouTubers talked about it, and I just have to clarify. So if one time, in one moment of time, you, let's say, soul travel, it's confusing, right? You could be soul traveling whilst you're sleeping. Well, you always do, actually. When you sleep, your body, physical, falls asleep. Your soul travels probably at least to the astral, let's say. Now, if you want to try to get to the third plane, where the Akashic records are with your past life records, then you might get up there. You can even get to the 4th and 5th and above, with more love in your heart only, okay? You cannot get there with density and fear. You'll just fall. For instance, I've told this story before and I'll say it again. I went to sleep one night. I wanted to have a helpful experience somewhere on some plane of existence. I asked for that. I put out my intention that I wished to serve in the other world somewhere. Didn't know what was going to happen that night. I was told to open my heart as big as I could. I chanted the word Hugh. I fell asleep, and all of a sudden my aunt, who had died a few years ago, was in front of me. I could smell her perfume. I could see her, and we both embraced, and we were so happy. Now, she had passed, meaning that she had transitioned or translated into a different dimension, okay? Her physical body died. She's up higher, okay? So I'm like, wow, oh my God, I'm so happy. I love you so much. I missed you so much. And we're hugging and and then I looked to the right and my grandmother, who had also translated, was right next to her. Now this was 20 some years ago and I have seen her intermittently, but to see them both at the same time woke me up, really woke me up in the dream state, lucidly, completely lucidly. And I said, oh my God, am I dead? And then I fell through a tube, a tunnel of sorts, back into my body, down 7 planes. Okay, so let's get this straight. 7th level, 6th level, 5th level. Those are the love worlds and above. Okay? Pure love and no dichotomies like that we have in the lower worlds. Those are the upper worlds in the inner. And so then I went down 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd and 1st back into my body and boop, pop, I'm up. So I took that experience back with me because it was such a wow moment, you know, seeing them. But you see what I'm trying to show you here is that there was a tunnel that I fell through because I was up to the 7th or 8th level because I counted actually as I was falling back into my body. I could count. There were bands around each one. It was like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And it was like a black tunnel with white bands around it. So okay, I just want to make this clear. So someone else on YouTube who I love, she said something about sometimes the reality glitching or blending. And yes, this is a tough one. But from my experience and understanding, in any given moment, it doesn't have to be a big soul travel experience like, oh my God, I'm out of my body and I'm floating above my bed and wow, I'm like got ethereal white wispiness around me. No, it doesn't always have to be like that, okay? It can simply be that your state of consciousness is expanding so much because you have more love in your heart that you are keying into other places. I know someone, my friend, who is now an Eckist. He was driving on an expressway and he was driving and this expressway all of a sudden became a different place in the sense that there was a billboard that said Eckankar on it. Eckankar. Go to an Eckankar meeting, literally. He saw that. He had never heard of what Eckankar was. He saw the billboard and then of course he was like, I guess I need to find out what this is. And sometimes this happens. There's also people who have literally been lost on different streets that are not existent on this first dimensional plane of existence. And they come back with other knowledge that there's no way they could have had it. So they're awake, consciously walking through kind of a dimensional portal, actually. And this has happened and this has been reported by many people. So if your level of conscious awareness is raising, you might have moments where you vibe in, or alternatively, you might have a moment where you see something and maybe it's not great. It could literally be a warning so that you don't do that. That you get a message from the higher worlds because so within, so without. So what happens in the higher worlds tends to trickle down. So that is a message to be careful if you've seen something. And there's nothing is in stone. Anyone will tell you that. Nothing is absolutely in stone. Things can be changed, especially if you're giving a message. You've been given a message. That means that someone wants you to know something, okay? So that you can change that outcome. It doesn't just have to be in the dreams. Like you might have a dream warning you about something. It doesn't have to just be in the dreams. It could be an waking dream is what they're called actually. So let's review. You're in the physical. That's the first dimension. You go to the astral. Most people go just to the astral when they sleep. You can go above the second dimension if you wish. And if you want to get to above the second dimension, the next one is called the causal plane, which houses the Akashic records. Okay? And that would be Mane to chant at night 3 times. And then pause and 3 times again and just do it over and over because it's a 3rd level. So you want to say it 3 times, right? Get it? So then the 4th is the mental and etheric, and that's an incredible place too. And then to get to the 5th and above, which is incredible experience, sometimes you just become like blended in with pure light and love, and there's a blissful feeling about that place. It's truly just love, you know? So, and there's an infinite amount of planes of existence. And so, yeah, I hope this clears up. So people say the 5D. Okay, so that would be, it's not just fifth dimension, it's the fifth plane. And I will do another video actually that has the various sounds and the various other words to chant to get to those places. But to get to the love world, period, you can chant the word Hugh, okay? Because it's like way up there. And it helps your consciousness to be able to raise you to the fifth and above whenever you wish. Hence, you will bring that back with you when you stop chanting it, because your consciousness goes to where that is, you see? I love you guys so much, and I so hope this helps. Like, I've taken years to understand all this, and it just thrills me that people are talking about it. Like, it's clearly becoming more mainstream, and it makes me so happy, because this is where we travel. And if you don't know the lay of the land, you can't travel as well. And there are guides in there too. The spiritual name for the current living Eckmaster, just right now, in 2025, and this is the March of 2025, is Wazi. Now, if anyone says Wazi and you ask for his help, he will come. Period. You do not have to be an Eckist, which again is only just a spiritual path. It's not a religion. But if you ask him, because he has guided me, I've gotten lost, don't even ask. But I now understand the planes better, so I can travel better. But if you get lost, you can chant the Hugh, or you can ask for Wazi. So these are ways to navigate the inner worlds. And it's just delightfully beautiful. Like, you even meet up with friends. Like, I'm not even kidding. You can talk to people. And I've literally come back from those travels in my sleep to call someone who had the same exact experience. Like, this is real with a capital R. Okay. Love you.